ace from Rosetsky.
Here is Jana Novotná, Wimbledon champion.
Oh, I say, a superb backhand volley from Monica Seles.
Sampras taking his time, looking very cool and unhurried.
For 2 weeks every summer, one tournament grips the nation unlike any other. Join us on television and radio as Wimbledon comes alive with BBC Sport. Starts Monday.
Don't want to panic anyone, but the end of the world is nigh. So if you're around in a few billion years, I'm afraid you'll have to move to a new solar system. The planet goes out with a bang in half an hour. First on BBC2, let's not run before we can walk. How to take the stress out of moving house.
Welcome to a new series of All the Right Moves, the only house programme that gives you the ins and outs of the property game, and the only house programme with presenters barking mad enough to live in houses like this.
Yes, I really have just moved here. On the programme tonight, the experts tell us which home improvements will add value and which won't. The insider's guide to moving without misery. And does your house have a bad vibe? How about space clearing, smudging or dowsing? Anna Ryder-Richardson joins me for a walk on the weird side. Hello. Today we're going to talk about mortgages.
There would be some small native mammal that was burrowing around.
No, don't do that, because in the next 5 minutes I'm going to tell you how to turn £2 into this. 25,000 big ones. Interested? Good. But first, a history lesson.
You see, since the 1950s, there's been a sea change in our national culture. Back then, choice, value and service were just words in a dictionary.
Food was meat and two veg, and variety was spam or spam. Holidays were in Skegness, and if you were in after 10 p.m, the landlady ate you. It was the same with mortgages. They all came from building societies, were just repayment, and the interest rate was the same for everyone. If you were a single woman, you needed a man as a guarantor.
But that was then, and this is now. The world is changing at a frenzied Derby gallop. We've now got more choice than we've ever had before.
You can eat, shop and bank, literally 24 hours a day. Although the big lenders have been loath to give up on their profitable 25-year money spinners, there are some remarkable new mortgage deals out there at the moment.
But you won't necessarily find them on the high street. When George and Jenny wanted to buy this house 4 years ago, the choice was limited. 25-year mortgage, repayment or endowment. That was it. Until they found something else.
Well, we have a £60,000 mortgage at the moment, and if we carried on paying that for a 25-year period, we'll have paid about £50,000 in interest alone. So we went around to each of the mortgage brokers and got quotes for the different types of mortgage, and worked out that if we got a flexible mortgage, it would save a great amount in interest.
Basically what it is, it's that you can overpay. You can make overpayments as you want, when you want, and that payment is immediately comes off your debt, so you end up paying less interest. Just small overpayments on a regular basis can dramatically shorten the life of your mortgage loan and save you massive amounts of interest payments in the future.
We would normally be paying about £500 per month off. Instead, we're paying about £1,000 off, therefore clearing the mortgage in 4 years.
We get a statement at the beginning of every month, and you open it up, and even I've got excited now. And you know, because you can see how it reduces so rapidly, and you're saving more and more money.
It's a game anyone can play, and you don't have to pay off a huge whack to see the benefit. Provided you can get out of your mortgage without being stung, even a few extra quid every month could save you thousands. And if you choose the right deal, the money's always there for a rainy day.
At the moment, there's no benchmark. Any lender can come up with any deal and call it flexible. So you really want to look at one where, having made overpayments, you do have the flexibility to get the money back again. And I think that's the most important thing, is the ability to either borrow the money back or take payment holidays.
On an ordinary mortgage, you can't do that. If you can put in overpayments, but it's lost in the mortgage, and you can never get it back out again. Whereas on the statement that we receive with the flexible, you actually get a column telling you your overpayments. So you can see like a banking account for the excess, and you can either carry on paying that to clear the mortgage quickly, or you can pull it out in emergencies.
So you have saved between, what, 50 to 60,000 pounds in mortgage interest. What are you going to do with the money you've saved?
Got lots of ideas. I'm sure they'll probably change over the space of time, but it's just lovely to think that the dream can become a reality. You don't have to win the lottery to start to get some freedom.
Currently, at the moment, flexible mortgages are only a small proportion of the market. There's one or two sort of specialist lenders out there offering them. But we've had recently a couple of the two really big top 10 lenders have come in and offered flexible deals. I reckon in the next 5 years that it's going to be taking up possibly 20% of the mortgage market, maybe more.
So the moral of our story is, by simply paying in an extra £2 a day to your mortgage, you could save the thick end of £25,000. Just think what you could do with that. New kitchen, conservatory, serious holiday, boats, horses, you name it. But I know what I'd do. I'd buy a little something for the weekend. Moving house is rarely fun, and the day I moved in here, it felt like I was doing 3 rounds with Lennox Lewis. You have to coordinate dates, keys, vans, and then watch complete strangers trash your possessions. But fear not, because help could be at hand. Our resident estate agent, Paul Higgins, gives us the lowdown on moving without tears.
On average, we do it every 7 years, and it's said to be nearly as stressful as death or divorce. But moving house shouldn't have to be such a trauma, as long as you make all the right moves. Rather than picking the first removal company listed in the yellow pages, get some personal recommendations, ask for a quote, and they should be members of the British Association of Removers. When someone comes to assess the cost of your move, don't try and hide the contents of the attic, garage or garden shed. It won't save money. Any extras will be billed to you later. The best way to keep costs down is to get rid of any junk you don't really need. And try not to move on a Friday or the beginning and end of the month. Everybody wants these dates, so prices are often higher. Do your paperwork well in advance. You'll need to sort out council tax arrangements, mail redirection, bills for utilities and residence parking if required. Another good tip, make a list of all your key possessions. That way you'll know if there's anything missing after the move. Your solicitor should give you a form showing you which fixtures and fittings are to be taken. Lighting and bathroom fittings are commonly disputed. And don't try and sneak off with your favourite shrub, unless your buyer's been previously warned. On the day, make sure there's parking for the removal lorry. It's no good hoping they'll get lucky. Prepare a personal travel pack so you don't have a frantic search when the move is over. There's less likelihood of breakages if the removal men do the packing, and once you've agreed this, let them get on with the job. Besides, if you join in, you may invalidate your insurance. While we're on the subject, you must read the small print on the removal company's insurance. Replacement cost for damage isn't automatic. Run down the contents of your fridge and freezer. The removal men may refuse to take them if they're full. Don't pretend you don't know there's a difficult sofa that needs to come out through the window. The removal team will have to come specially prepared for this. Remember, you won't get access into your new home until the money has gone to the seller's solicitor. The timing is crucial. If you get it wrong, you could be in for a long wait. Draw up a plan of where everything goes. Don't try and make it up when you get there. And if it all goes smoothly, you can tip your removal men. Break out your personal travel pack. Sheets, duvet and a bottle of wine are a must. And then you can stand back and enjoy your beautiful new home.
Just watching him makes me want to break into a sweat, because buying and selling houses is always riddled with angst, which is why in this series we thought it'd be a good idea to chart the trials and tribulations of two sets of would-be movers in our regular property soap.
Nick and Marina Smythe have been living in this two-bed bungalow in Oxfordshire for years. They've been trying for some time to have a baby, and a few months ago they were in for a rather big surprise. Quads.
We've got Jack, William, Rosie and Jamie. Jamie and William are two identical, and Jack's the big boy of the family, and they're growing like weeds at the moment, so we need to move.
Our new parents have just accepted an offer on their 95 grand home. Now they need to find another house, but with 4 bairns, they're getting nowhere fast.
We never thought we'd need to move until a lot later on. We thought we'd be here for several years at least.
Their pace of life may have changed, but the moving game remains as slow as ever.
Hi Alan and Aris, it's Mr. Smythe here. We've got the details on 108 Hazel Crescent. I wonder if we can view it today. Oh, well that's a shame. Oh, did they? Oh right, okay.
We manage at the moment because we have to. I mean, we just have to manage with the space. But when we've got like chairs out later, we need high chairs for feeding. We've just got nowhere to put them. This is why we desperately need to move.
100 miles away in Cardiff are two first-time buyers. Wyn Evans and Tanwen Council have found their dream home. It's a 3-bed terrace and it's vacant, at least of people. Their offer of 52.5 grand has been accepted, but there's still a long way to go, and it's all uncharted territory for them.
It's quite frightening being a first-time buyer because we have to ask people every step of the way what the next step is.
We didn't know.
And we're just in their hands the whole time and have to trust them completely.
Where's the back boiler then? What's it mean by back boiler? I don't understand that. And this house needs complete redecorating, rewiring, new flooring.
Is that normal to have all wires outside then?
It needs the bathroom to be moved upstairs because it's downstairs at the moment. So it's major, major work. My father's on about knocking this wall down so that we can have like an extra, whatever it is, you know, 2 foot onto the room. But I mean, for the time being, I think no, because I think we're going to be in enough of a mess without my father knocking walls down.
Yeah.
They may have big plans, but before anything can happen, they need to find tenants to take over the rental agreement on their old flat.
We'd be glad to leave here if we can find somebody to take the house off us. I mean, that is the main sticking point at the moment, is we can't find anybody to move into this flat because we signed a 12-month secure tenancy stupidly. Even though we were assured that we would be able to break the agreement, we're not.
It's definitely quite stressful, isn't it, not having anyone to take over. It's just sort of wait there all the time because we're so excited about getting our first house and things.
Yeah, it's taking the edge
so
off it a bit.
excited, yeah, and we just thought it would just be so easy.
And things aren't easy for Marina. As the quads grow, the house gets smaller. It's a race against time.
Yeah, it's Mrs. Smythe here. I'm phoning up about the house. We still haven't heard it. Yeah, it's just that, you see, he said he'd try and let me know yesterday or this morning, but we really need to start looking to see other houses.
It's such a difficult job to get somebody to look after 4 babies while we go out and look, or we've got to do it in double shifts. And time to do that, you waste so much time. And plus the properties we need something which is 3-bedroom we can extend, or 4 or 5 bedrooms. But it seems like we've been stringed along a bit, and it's time we haven't got much of because we need to move. These people want this bungalow, and we need a 3-bedroom house.
Okay, don't worry, thank you. It is very stressful moving. It's all And nothing's sort of cut and dry until you've actually signed on that dotted line on that morning that you're going to move, is it? It's terribly worrying. It's awful. But we've got to move, and that's it.
For our impatient first-time buyers, it's still a waiting game, trying to find that elusive tenant.
I mean, the frustrating thing is that, you know, you read in the newspapers and see on television that there's an immense lack of property to rent in Cardiff, and yet we can't rent this flat. I don't know why. I just don't know why. I mean, we've got it with 6 estate agents. You know, we've done all the adverts in the papers. Just have to wait and see now.
With Marina's mum looking after the little one, she's got just half an hour to view not 1 but 2 houses. First up is a 3-bed at 99.5 grand.
It's big, but the trouble is they need somewhere to move to, which they haven't found yet, so it could mean that we're waiting around for ages.
So what of house number 2? Also 3 bedrooms, but this one's up at 115.
Good size when it runs.
It's really nice. Very nice inside, really nice. The big bedroom's huge. It's a shame the other 2 weren't a little bit bigger.
And for Marina, size matters. For Win and Tenwen, things are looking up. Someone wants the flat, but there's a catch. The new tenant wants to move in within a week.
It's funny to think that we haven't got much time to get out, because we thought, you know, we didn't really know. We thought we might be here for ages. And now we're having to rush to pack everything.
Where are you going to live?
We'll have to live with my parents. And they seem fine about it, don't they?
I hope so.
There won't be much space in the house, will there, when we live with them?
It's just all our stuff, and having had space for so long, it'll be like, you know, just being in a hotel and just living out of your suitcase.
At least we know it's not for long, though, don't we?
Yeah.
I just hope they're right. Find out what happens next week. In this country, the average price of a house is between £70,000 and £80,000. But of course, there are some areas where you get more for your money than others. Join us in a tour to see how much buys what and where. So, for your 70 to 80 grand, you could choose this 3-bed cottage in the sleepy village of Lower Tean near Stoke-on-Trent. It's on the market for £75,000.
The house was built in 1691, and the initials over the door, HWM, stand for Henry William Milner, whose family owned a lot of land and property in the area. The house is Grade 2 listed and has the original well outside the front door, which is listed too. It's a nice, quiet spot. And although there's no takeaways, there's just a pub up the road and that does fine.
Alas, average money doesn't get you much in central London, but £69,500 can buy you this 1-bed flat on the borders of trendy Islington.
This is indeed the most cosmic area in London. The flat is perfect for me, perfect for any single person, just the right size. Estate agent speak would describe this flat as petite and bijou. The pub's superb and there's loads of music to be had locally.
Cambridge has become a real property hotspot, so you'll need to look at a village well outside the city to get any space for your money. This 4-bedroomed house in the Cambridge village of Ramsey Mearside will cost you £75,000. It boasts a master bedroom with ensuite shower room, fitted carpets and a decent-sized garden. 25 miles from the M11, it's easily commutable to Cambridge and London. For £82,500, you could buy this 2-bedroomed house in Birmingham. On the Bourneville Village Trust estate, it was one of the houses built at the turn of the century for the workers at the Cadbury factory.
It's a quieter area of the city. It's sort of the forgotten area of Birmingham. There's a lot more younger people moving into the area. It's a good home to come back to after work. We love the place and are going to be very, very sad when we move out.
Further north in Leeds, you'll get this 1930s semi for £75,000. It's got 3 bedrooms, a good-sized living room, and the garden has a built-in barbecue for summer parties.
We love this house because it's so near to the centre, with a lot of shops around us. The schools are very good as well. If we want to go to the country in 20 minutes, we are in Skipton, one of the most popular areas of Yorkshire. We've been living here for 15 years.
Prices in Stratford-upon-Avon are heating up, so you would have thought this quintessentially English cottage just round the corner from where Shakespeare's wife lived would require friends at Fort Knox. But you'd be wrong, because this little slice of history comes with a price tag of 85 grand. Sure, it's only got one bedroom and a garden the size of an envelope, but if you've always wanted a chocolate box cottage, this could be the one for you. The minute you move into your house, you'll be faced with choices. You'll want to personalise it, make it over, spend some money. For instance, I could rip out all this wood panelling and replace it with swirly wallpaper and an MDF dado rail. But I won't. So we've asked a raft of builders, surveyors and designers to tell us what's worth doing and what's not. This week, how to make the most of your fixtures and fittings.
Do your maths before doing any improvements. A £10,000 kitchen in a £1 million mansion will just not look good enough, but in a £30,000 house it will be too expensive. So always keep your improvements in proportion to the value of your property.
I would say that if you don't get immediate benefit out of something for yourself, then forget it. I mean, the gold taps, the lovely marble worktops and all the rest of it might be all very well, but people are unlikely to pay you for those in the future if you sell the house.
Home buyers look for a few things when they're buying a property. At the top of the list is central heating, and number 2 is a fitted kitchen. So if you don't have a fitted kitchen, put one in.
But kitchens need careful consideration.
Before you go pulling out a perfectly good kitchen, think very carefully. The carcasses are almost identical on a £500 kitchen and a £50,000 kitchen. Just think about putting on new doors and worktops. You could be amazed at the results.
When you're tiling your kitchen, think carefully. Pick something neutral, something that you'll still like in 5 years' time when you're going to sell your house and that a prospective buyer will like.
Make the most of period details. They'll increase your value.
Why not put a fireplace back? In something like a Victorian or an Edwardian house, they are, I think, absolutely fundamental to maintain the character and the charm and the interest of such a property.
One of the cheapest home improvements you can make is to install a power shower. People don't want to stand under a dribbling tap of lukewarm water in the morning, so put one in.
If you want to find out what people really want, all you have to do is go and find out what developers are building. They spend a lot of money on research, and what you'll find is they're squeezing in as many bathrooms as possible. So if you can find the space, add some more. You can buy a basic bathroom suite for £200 or £300 and install it for a couple of hundred more. Key rule, keep it simple, keep it wide.
The other alternative, if you can't make an extra bathroom upstairs, is to build a second toilet downstairs. Under the stairs is an ideal place because you won't cut into your living area at all.
And it's not just the inside you need to think about.
People are prepared to pay up to 10% more for a home which has off-street parking or a garage, particularly in areas where parking is a major problem.
And the thing is that to create a parking space doesn't necessarily cost you a fortune. I mean, you're not building the M25, you know, it's a few slabs, a few bricks laid down. The important thing is that you must have the curb lowered. So get onto the local authority and find out how much it costs, and then most of the rest of the job is really just a bit of basic landscape gardening. It really isn't difficult.
When you buy a house, you buy it instinctively because it feels right. So, as a seller, you want your buyer to feel warm approval as soon as they cross that threshold. Well, these days there's an army of specialists who claim they can do exactly that. Anna Ryder-Richardson of Changing Rooms joins me on a quizzical journey through alternative home therapies. And the first we were exposed to was quantum environmental balancing.
I'm now going to douse the room looking for harmful energy.
Jackie Beacon and David Gillett run a company called Environmental Harmony. They say they can detect the presence of electromagnetic stress in your house. Jackie just uses her finger.
Can you see the finger bends? This is a no and this is a yes. Can you see there's a difference?
Actually, I couldn't.
Nor could I.
For my attempt, I needed dowsing rods.
Okay, so what have I got to do?
Hold them a little bit apart, more apart than they are,
Right, okay.
Whoops.
Sorry.
And ask them to stay straight.
What do you mean ask them to stay straight?
It's your mind. What's in your mind? If your mind says stay straight.
Surely I couldn't communicate with 2 bits of rod, or could I?
There we are. That's the point I got as well. Now ask for direction of flow. And it's going from left
Jackie, I'm
to
not
right.
doing anything.
I know. I said you could do it. You see, it's proved.
Look at that.
That's it. That's
yes.
it. Yes. I'm controlling these rods by my head.
Having seen that, it was time to check Quentin's energy levels.
Now, if I point them at Quentin,
Ask what his energy field is. Yes.
okay.
Go a bit further forward because.
Oh look, they just. Oh, are they going apart? You haven't got any energy in the back. Oh, now they're going bananas.
Oh, because I've turned round.
Yes.
His energy level was extraordinary.
Thanks a lot, Anna. So what does it cost to get rid of electromagnetic stress?
Well, these energy mixing beacons cost £65 each. An on-site visit is £200.
A harmony token to protect you against bad vibes is £36.
So I have my very fetching little brooch or token, but will it help me sell my house?
Well, it'll certainly help you feel better, which in turn should help you sell your house.
Next, Stephanie Hayward, who does space clearing for £175.
Space clearing isn't anything new. In fact, it's been around since time began. Basically, it's where you cleanse a home or a building of negative energy. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to go around the room so that we can see where the negative energy is coming from. When you think about all the emotions that you pour out, you cry, you laugh, you smile, you row, and what happens is the room will absorb all that energy. Now, if it's negative, then the crystal will go anti-clockwise.
So is a corner an area where negative energy will normally collect?
Yes, it is. It's like spiders. You know, they make their webs in corners.
And to banish negative energy, you ring your bell.
Bang your drum.
Or just clap.
Now, you might be forgiven for thinking that this looks a lot like something you'd buy in a cafe in Amsterdam and smoke, but you'd be wrong because this is a smudge stick and it's used for clearing all that blocked energy that so irritatingly hangs around the home.
Liz Cooper from Spaceworks will happily smudge your home for about £200.
This is sort of Native American in origin. This one is made of sage and lavender. Sage is for cleansing and purifying, and the lavender attracts beauty and love.
But I wanted to know what those big bowls were for.
Are we supposed to feel something?
Ooh,
I do. I feel vibrations.
Yeah.
Ooh. Everything is made up of energy. So what we're doing is we're just working on a different frequency, one that's unseen, but we know it's there because we've learnt to tune ourselves in, if you like.
Wow, that is incredible. I can really feel it all
It's
the
a
way
really,
through.
really
It's lovely, isn't
groovy
it?
noise.
Yeah.
But selling this as a concept to normal people, if you'll forgive me using the word, isn't this a bit hard, convincing them?
Normally when we walk into a house we will sense that sometimes the history, but we'll do that.
All this energy talk was weird enough.
But what happened next was a bolt from the blue.
We were literally hit by lightning.
Whole toolkit. We've got the barrel.
Oh, wow. That was right on top.
That was almost...
That was a direct hit.
We may have started this day as 22-carat cynics.
But after having our dowsing rods go bananas and being struck by lightning,
there's probably more to this than meets the eye.
But if you want our advice how to sell your house quickly, we'd say...
clear up your clutter,
wash the net curtains,
brew some coffee,
and find yourself a good estate agent.
What a weird day.
Weird is not the word.
And neither of us has been quite the same since. That's it for now. More All the Right Moves next week. Until then, bye-bye.
Next week, Anna gets on her bike to look at houses that don't cost the earth. And heavens above, a Desres to die for. Estate agents. Can't live with them, can't live without them. But why can't they agree on what a house is worth?
Tonight on BBC2, the big end for the planets. That's in a moment. For mortgage advice, how to get the best out of your estate agent, and key information about house buying in the UK, go to www.bbc.co.uk/rightmoves.
George Orwell wrote, "Serious sport has nothing to do with fair play. It is bound up with hatred, jealousy, boastfulness, disregard of all rules, and sadistic pleasure in witnessing violence. In other words, it is war minus the shooting."
Well, so ferocious, I thought